Welcome back. We're talking multiplying fractions, unit 2.5. Multiplying fractions is probably the easiest single thing we will do in this entire course. Here is our problem today. Go ahead and try simplifying these fractions, pause, and come back to the lesson when you're ready. And here we go. Multiplication of fractions. In order to actually look at multiplication of fractions, we're going back to pi. I know that this makes us hungry and such, but we're going back. It's the best way to look at it. If you wanted to share this portion, now we made a 2/3 portion of pi. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to trace that portion as best I can with all my artistic skills. Kind of like a Pac-Man pie. It's not bad. Alright. If you wanted to share this portion of the pie with someone evenly, so cut it half for you, half for them, how much pie would you get? Now we're talking about how much pie relative to the entire whole pie. Just like any fraction, you would divide the whole into the number of pieces in the, let's pull up some text, in the denominator, which is 2, and take the number of pieces in the numerator, which is going to be 1. Those are tiny. Let's try. So what amount of the pie is left? Now let's look. I started with this much pie. Now I'm down to about half. So we started with 2/3 of a pie, and we cut it in half. So it looks like 1/2 of 2/3 of a pie. If you had to estimate, in class we estimated, got a bunch of different responses. Let's take this one piece. I'm going to trace this as well just to show you roughly what this size is. So I have one of these. Let's compare it to the whole. It's about 1/3 of the pie. So 1/2 of 2/3 is 1/3. Let's try it together. Let's break this square into 5 pieces. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I want half of that. So I'm going to cut the whole thing in half. So it really is just this piece, this piece, this piece, this piece. Now instead of having 1/5 or 5/5, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tenths. One piece would be about 1/10. So it means the whole thing is 5/10. Go ahead and give the U-try an attempt, pause, and then come right back. Oops. So we're going to draw half of a pie. So I'm going to cut this pie in half. And then look at one of those halves and cut it into thirds. So if I have 1/3 of 1/2 of a pie, that's going to be about 1/6 like we did on the front. If I did a pizza, 1/4 of a pizza, 1/2, you'd end up with 1/8. Now instead of sitting here drawing it every single time, we are instead going to learn a method for doing these problems. If you take a set of a set, so if I multiply a group of a group, we're multiplying. If you're taking a fraction of a fraction, like we just did, we took 1/3 of a half of a quarter, a half of a fifth. You're multiplying fractions. Let's look at 3/2 of 1/4. Now we could draw 3/4 or 3/2 of a pie, then take a quarter of those pies. But again, drawing it takes too much effort. We're very lazy. We're Americans. Let's look at how the steps for multiplying these numbers. Multiply the numerators straight across. This is your new numerator. Like I said, very simple, very cut and dry. Multiply the denominators straight across. This product is going to be your new denominator. Now, it's not written up here, but the final step in any fraction problem is to simplify. So let's see. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. Straight across. 3 times 1 is 8. That's not right. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 4 is 8. There we go. Go ahead and give the... Oh, these are try-togethers. So 1 times 2, we get 2. 2 times 8, we get 16. I can simplify that down to 1/8. Quick little trick that I taught in class. If you want to simplify beforehand, any number in the numerator, in either of the numerators, can simplify with any number in the denominators. I see 4 and 2. Well, 4 is just 2 sets of 2, whereas 2 is 1 set. 3 times 1 is 3. 2 times 1 is 2. Our negative rules apply just the same. Negative 3 times 6 is negative 18. 8 times 6 is 48. Final answer should be negative 3/8. If the negative's out front, assume it goes with the top number. Negative 7 times negative 10 is positive 70. That way you don't have to worry about where the negative goes, what's positive, what's negative. 9 times 11 is 99. Multiply across, not cross multiplying. Biggest pet peeve ever is that students always assume, because they know the term cross multiplication, that that's what we're doing. We're multiplying fractions, not cross multiplying. We talked about cross multiplying last week with equivalent fractions. Go ahead and give these 4 problems a try. Pause, and then come right back when you're ready. Welcome back. 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 5 is 10. That simplifies down because I can divide a 2 out of the top, a 2 out of the bottom, get 3/5. Number 2 is another great example of simplifying beforehand. I see 5 up top, 5 down below. That's really 1 and 1 now. So my answer is negative 2/3. Saves me the time of simplifying. 7 times 10 is 70. 3 times 12 is 36. Now if I were to go through and simplify, let's try guess and check. Divide them both by 2. I get 35/18. And again, if I wanted to turn those into mixed numbers, 18 goes into 35 once, because 35 minus 18, you get 1 left over, because it only goes in 1 time. 1 and 17/18. Negative 4 times 3 is negative 12. 9 times negative 2 is negative 18. Now, just like values can simplify out, factors can simplify out, negatives can too. Fractions are just division. Negative divided by negative is positive. I know that 12 has a 6, 18 has a 6, so we should end up with 2/3. Positive 2/3. Those negatives cancel each other out. There's an exit slip. Give it a try. I'll check it at the end of the week. Here is your homework. You are going to multiply and simplify. I do want to give you a couple hints. If you have a whole number, remember a whole number, that means it's broken into one whole. So whole numbers, you can include the one below. It's a quick way to turn any whole number into a fraction. All right, good luck on your homework, and I'll see you in class.